Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess Hover. It's so good to have you here. This is Juliet. She is so sweet. We call her Jules. She was born like 5 weeks ago and she arrived 6 weeks early. So we still haven't hit her due date yet. And I just got her home from the NICU a week-ish ago. Like last week we got her home. So this video is a first week with a newborn. If you've ever seen that one that I made with Wilson last year, that's helpful. I recommend you watch it. I actually watched it before she arrived to remind myself of some of the tips in there because they really are good. But this video is going to be specifically about first week with 2 kids under 2. And it's not so much me telling you all the things you should do that are right, because I still do not feel confident in the things I'm doing. But I'm going to tell you what's working for me and what's not working yet. And hopefully that will help prepare you. What I will say is that if you are expecting twins, that's going to be different than my experience, because right now I have a 16-month-old. He was 15 months when she first was born, and her. And so even though they're both in diapers, Wilson wasn't walking when she was born, there's a lot of baby elements to Wilson. He is sleeping through the night. And I think having one kid sleep through the night, that already is an advantage. And when you have 2 newborns, that's just gonna be a challenge that will be worth it. You're gonna do amazing. I don't wanna scare anyone, but that's just different, okay? So my experience is gonna be with a 16-month-old and a newborn. That's what I'm going to talk to. But first, this video is a partnership with the brand Zip Top. And for Black Friday, they'll be offering 25% off all of their sets. So you can shop Zip Top by clicking my link below. Thank you so much. As a mom of now 3 kids, I need to do anything that will make my life easier. Ow, ow, ow! This is yesterday's coffee. That's why we're excited. Yeah, that's why we're excited to partner with Zip Top for this video. So Zip Top makes reusable silicone containers. Thank you. Here, this one's yours. This one's yours. That one's coffee. You don't need coffee. They stand up, they stay open, and they zip closed. They work with liquids. You can snack out of them. You can travel with them. They're microwave safe. They're freezer safe. Yeah, should we take a sip? Hi, Bear. Oh, here's yours. There you go. They are really good for the planet. So the average family uses around 2,000 plastic bags a year. Zip Top says that one of these will replace 5,000 plus plastic bags. That's awesome. They also have nursing bags, which that applies to me. I don't know if any of you are nursing moms, but they have freezer safe nursing bags, breast milk bags, which are awesome. So Zip Top, they have great colors. We went with the purple because Eloise likes the purple ones. You're gonna love them. Okay, now for the video. 2 kids under 2. Well, for one, congratulations. I mean, you should know that you're talking to someone, or rather you're listening to someone who thinks my kids are worth it, but does not feel like a natural at all of this. I think that this is all really good. I love my kids. I love that I get to have this role, but being a mom wasn't like my big dream or something. So a lot of this feels new. It's also COVID, and I live in Southern California, Los Angeles specifically. So like family can't come visit right now. This is just not the most ideal time to be having kids, but hey, here we are. This pregnancy was a surprise and she's totally worth it. I'm so thankful she's here. And it's significantly more challenging than with my other pregnancies because of just the state that our world is in. So I say that to encourage you, if you are also having a baby right now and finding yourself just hating the circumstances, maybe you can't go see people, or you can't have people in the hospital with you that you wanted to be able to have there, or like traveling isn't happening, or I don't know, whatever your situation is, just know you're not alone in it. And it's gonna get easier and we'll all get through it. So, all right, how are we doing? Well, I will tell you that there was one morning this week where she woke up needing to be nursed. At the same time, Wilson had gotten into my bathroom trash, which bathroom trash after you have a baby is like the most wretched trash. It's so gross because you bleed so much. So you can just imagine what Wilson looked like having gotten into my bathroom trash and the pads and things that were in there. So it was a little freak out moment, and I'm like, okay, this is what it's like to have 2 babies. And so quickly I threw him into the bathtub, rinsed him off, and then went ahead and stripped my daughter down, my 5-year-old, and put her in the bath too, because she's kind of like my babysitter right now. She's amazing, but she could help make sure her little brother wouldn't die in the bathtub. And then I sat on the top of the toilet, lid down, if you can imagine, nursing her, watching them. It was chaos, but it was fine. It went okay. A lot of my struggle, I think, actually, is the anticipation of the moments versus the moments themselves. I have a lot of anxiety about having all of the kids at once, specifically having Wilson, my 1-year-old, and her at the same time, because they both want my arms. They both need me to help take care of them, keep them alive, do the things you're supposed to do. Wilson is barely walking. In fact, he walks in front of other people sometimes and pretty much never walks in front of me. I think because he wants me to think that he's a baby still. I've heard that that happens when you have a new baby, that your older one regresses a little bit. But we're trying. When we first brought her home from the hospital early last week, Wilson cried his head off. He did not understand what was going on, and that was really hard for me. He cried extra when he saw Sean holding her, because he's very attached to his dad right now, which I love because I need him to be attached to his dad and not to me so much. He also lost his mind the next day, crying super hard when he saw me nursing her. But we've been steadily trying to help him understand what's going on and give him time of like being near her. And it's getting easier. Every day it's getting easier, and he's getting more curious about her. And actually my 5-year-old does help a lot with that, because she's really tender towards this baby. And so my 1-year-old watches her and then does what she does. And that's been great. The easiest thing that I could tell you that is like the dream, if you can do this, I recommend it, it's have one adult per kid all the time. So if you can figure out a way where you never have to have more than one kid alone in your first week, that's like the best. Those are the moments when I've been like, I can do this. This is wonderful. The hardest have been when I have 2 kids or 3 kids all at once during the first week, especially because I had a baby not that long ago, and so I'm still sort of hormonal and emotional. So that's a piece of advice, is have adults on hand, see how much help you can get, receive help anytime, anyone will offer it. Go ahead and say yes. This is the time when you can ask for help and receive help so freely. Don't think twice about it. Another thing that has been helpful for us is having someone else give her a bottle. I said that in my video with Wilson. I did not give Eloise, my first child, a bottle. The reason why I didn't do that is because people had advised me not to. They said wait a month or 6 weeks just to be sure she's nursing properly so that she doesn't experience nipple confusion. And she didn't have any issues with breastfeeding, so I think it would have been wiser if I would have offered her a bottle right away, because by the time I did offer her one, she didn't want to take one. She only wanted me, and that made it challenging because I was the only one who could ever feed her. And even like there was times when I went to work jobs and Sean and another time a nanny could not get our baby to eat, and they ended up bringing the baby to where I was working to feed her. And I just didn't want to redo that. So with Wilson, we offered him a bottle within the first couple days, and that way Sean could give him a bottle as well as me being able to nurse him. With her, because she was in the NICU, she was primarily bottle fed. And her doctor actually said that he advised that we keep giving her a bottle when she came home, even if it was just a couple times a day, so that other people could have that sweet bonding experience, and specifically so that her dad could have that experience. So if you're looking for ways for the dad in your baby's life to connect with the baby, then giving that baby a bottle is a really sweet way for them to connect. It also is a very sweet way for you to get some sleep. So for me, we do breastfeeding throughout the day and then bottle feeding throughout the night. And that way Sean can give her a bottle in the nighttime and I can get a longer stretch of sleep at night. And I've so appreciated that, because I think just sleep deprivation, that on its own makes a person feel crazy. And so if you can do anything to remedy that a bit and give yourself more rest, you'll be more capable to handle the challenging days that you might be facing now that you have 2 kids under 2 years old. Another thing, both of my little ones take pacifiers now. So Wilson, my 1-year-old, would love to steal her pacifier, and he tries to. Problem is, she is very sensitive to germs. Newborns are, but more so premature babies, you have to be really careful. And so we extra do not want him putting her pacifier in his mouth and then putting it back in her mouth. And one thing we've done for that is make sure the pacifiers are different colors. That's not so much for Wilson's sake as it is for mine, so that I can know exactly whose pacifier is where when they're laying around. They're different sizes, but at a glance they look the same. And so if they can be different colors, that's very helpful. Also, diapers. We made sure before she came home that we had diapers in different sizes, and then we put them in different places. So I do diaper changes for Wilson in his room, and then I do diaper changes for her everywhere because she poops all the time. But I don't do diaper changes for her in Wilson's room. So that's the difference. I also make sure that the diaper bag is packed every night, at least the one that I carry around. So Sean carries a different backpack. He does it by choice, and I just go ahead and let him handle his own diaper bag. But for me, I make sure that mine is packed every night because it helps me the next day to be able to get up and go. I recommend that. Some days I do his diaper bag too, but it usually has to do with how much brain space I have left by the end of the day. And pacifiers for both. Oh, so because Wilson is not nursing, I'll say this. I'm really thankful that I weaned Wilson from breastfeeding before she arrived. I'm also thankful that I sleep trained Wilson before she arrived. He still does have a few times, or has had a few times, where he's woken up in the night for kind of random things. One night he was teething, so he woke up. Another time he was sick, so he woke up. That happens, but mostly Wilson can sleep through the night from like 6 p.m. until 6 a.m. I am so thankful that I took that seriously before she arrived, because now when I'm up in the night, it's only for her. And that's a huge plus. And then same thing with nursing. I have some friends who have gone the route of nursing both kids at the same time. If you're gonna do that, you're incredible. And if that's what you want to do, definitely, go with whatever feels most comfortable for you. I am thankful that I didn't go that route, but I just may not have as high a capacity as you have. And so just hear me. If you want to do that, do it. The NICU doctor did affirm the fact that I weaned Wilson, though, by saying that because I wasn't breastfeeding both babies at the same time, we could be confident that my breast milk was specifically for her, meaning my body knew she was a premature baby, and whatever nutrients and vitamins and I don't know whatever other positive qualities were happening inside of my breast milk, it was specific to this baby and her needs. And had I been nursing both at the same time, we wouldn't feel as confident about whatever breast milk my body was making, if that makes sense. I know that that's an argued fact. I know that some people would say your body is able to make specific milk for a specific kid. It's just apparently not proven. So something interesting though is I pump a lot of milk right now, and we are giving breast milk to Wilson in a bottle before he sleeps, and he's loving it. So he is getting breast milk from me again now, even though he's been weaned since July, and he loves that. But it is the breast milk that I am pumping for her, and I only nurse her. I don't nurse Wilson. He doesn't even try. It appears that he doesn't even remember that he did that. So my point in all of that is, when I breastfeed her, if Wilson is there and starting to get a little agitated, I make sure that I have put snacks out for him. So before I nurse her in the morning, when he and I are together, because I usually have all 3 kids in the mornings, then I put out cereal for him to munch on, or fruit or something, so that he can be hanging out with us, but he's eating while she's eating. And my NICU doctor recommended that I do that so that he doesn't get frustrated with her, if he's hungry and he's saying that I'm taking care of her instead of him. So I do recommend that. So far that seems to be working, is just make sure that bigger one is fed before you feed the littler one. How can you make things easier for yourself? That was a question that I posed. For me, I find it to be super helpful to have my coffee plan figured out the night before, so I know exactly what coffee I'm gonna have in the morning, because for me that makes me feel more like alive and just ready, that I can handle things. Also food, having easy, simple food. I eat a lot of protein bars right now. I need something fast. Snacks, just having snacks around. Smoothies are quick and easy. Cheese and crackers and lunch meat are really nice. Making things as simple as you can for all of you. It's also been helpful that other people in our life have sent over food, and we have a bunch of frozen food in our freezer. This week we've eaten really weird stuff. We've eaten amazing things that people have sent over, and then I have made super weird stuff for my family, any frozen things that I can pop in and just serve to anyone. But I feel like it's fine, because it's just as long as everybody's fed. Yesterday Eloise had chicken nuggets for lunch, and then I accidentally made them for dinner because I forgot she'd already had them for lunch. And then she wanted a can of soup as well, and I just went ahead and microwaved her a can of soup. It was not a glory moment, but she was well fed before she went to bed, and we just called it good because we have a brand new baby and a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old, and we're just making it work. So whatever you can do to make sure you're eating, make sure you're caring for yourself, and also embrace the fact that you just may not be the most incredible parent of your whole life this week or the next few weeks, and that is great. You're doing great. Try to give Wilson, my 1-year-old, some quality snuggle time. I think that helps. So in the morning when I give him my attention, I give him my whole attention. That's usually when she's sleeping. My good friend explained it to me like this. Right now, I'm not going to be able to give a lot of time to all my kids. It's not about the quantity of time that I'm spending. It's about the quality of time that I'm able to give each one. So in the morning, when I give Wilson his bottle, I snuggle him so close to me, and I give him his bottle, and I talk to him, and we giggle together, and anytime we can play, it's usually very short moments that we have of like undivided attention, but I do it knowing that it's filling him up in some way. Same with Eloise. When I can play with her, when I can listen to her, sometimes we sit down and eat snacks together, and I make a point to give her my eye contact and my silliness and my imagination, and I maybe can only do it for 5 minutes. But if I can do it for that whole time knowing this is filling her up somehow, then I can leave knowing we've connected, and it seems that she's happier for that as well. So quality time with your kids, and then if there are other people in your life who love your kids, let them love your kids well. So bring in grandparents, friends, anybody that is willing to help you, who will love the older one while you care for the younger one. Let them be loved. It's hard with like separation anxiety and stuff. Sometimes when Wilson leaves with somebody, he cries. But what I have found is that the moment I'm out of eyesight, or maybe 2 minutes after I'm out of his eyesight, he's fine again. So don't work yourself up too much if a friend or family member is coming to pick up your older one and you're like, oh my gosh, they're crying. They might cry, but they'll stop crying. Just leave. Make it as smooth and easy as you can so that the person can take your older one, and it's going to be great. I don't know if this applies to you. I wrote embrace formula if needed. I'm just saying that because I have never fed my kids formula. I personally have nothing against formula. It costs more money than breast milk, so I tend to be on the cheap side and just be like, let's feed my kid the thing that I'm making for free. But the doctor had said she needed formula, and we gave her formula. And one thing I think that's great about it is anybody can feed her anytime if there's formula laying around. And that might just sound like general, but I really do think that that's pretty amazing. And so if you need to embrace the formula life for any reason, if it's a health reason, or if it's so that you can leave the house and just know that there's formula in your house if your baby gets hungry, and maybe you're out with the older one, but a friend or family member can give your younger one formula if there's not breast milk on hand. I don't know. I just felt to encourage you to embrace formula if needed. It is not the end of the world if your child needs formula. In fact, I don't even believe it's near the end of the world. There's been times when she's done much better with the formula than she has with my own breast milk when it comes to reflux and her discomfort and all of that. So I'm just saying, if this applies to you, if formula seems like an option you need to utilize from time to time, or I have friends who can't breastfeed at all for various reasons and formula is what they will need to give their baby, you're fine. That's fine. I don't think there should be any shame about that. I know that that's controversial and moms may leave comments about, I don't know, how they're triggered by that. That's fine. You can. But I just personally am living a formula life here and there, and I think it's fine. So I don't know if that helps you. Formula is cool. Also for my mind. So I honestly cry well, at least once a day. I would probably say like 4 times a day. I've been crying. I've also been doing fine. Everything's going well. What helps me is listening to podcasts that are encouraging and stimulating for my mind. There's a pastor called Andy Stanley, and he has really engaging podcasts about just living a better life and making good decisions and how to think and how to speak and all of that. And I really enjoy him. I think anybody would enjoy him. You don't have to believe what I believe to enjoy him. He's very good. And then happy music. That could mean anything you want it to mean, but just sometimes if I'm feeling like blah, having some sort of happy music on has been really awesome for me. What is not working? I have no idea how to leave the house with just my youngest 2 by myself. I've not had to do it yet. Anytime I leave the house with both the baby and Wilson, it's with someone else, with another adult who can take care of one of them while I take care of the other one, and then we switch off and switch off. If it comes to me leaving the house with both of them and I have no other adult, I have no idea how I'm gonna do that. And so therefore I haven't done it yet. It probably will be a while till I do that. I also don't have a stroller that's built for 2 yet, and I need to figure that out. I have an Up-A-Baby stroller that I got off of Craigslist last year, and it doesn't have the attachment for a second baby, and I just haven't figured out how I'm supposed to do that. So that's something. Maybe you have advice on what stroller I should use for a newborn and a 16-month-old. I would love your advice, because to be able to go for a walk, I'm not sure what I do. I guess if I was gonna go right now, I'd probably put her in a carrier and put Wilson in the stroller. But I kind of like her in the stroller. Also, because she's had some breathing issues since she's been born and random drops in her heart rate, I haven't felt totally confident putting her in the carrier yet because I'm afraid that she'll die on my chest, if I can just be very honest. But now that she's bigger, she'd probably love being on my chest, so I may try that soon. We'll see. But anyway, what's not working is leaving the house. And if you have advice on how to leave the house, even like 2 car seats, what? I have both car seats in my car right now, but I have no idea, like, am I carrying both of the car seats? I don't know. So if you leave the house with 2 babies, that I would love to hear your tips on, because I have no idea. Also, next week is Thanksgiving for me, so it's a family holiday. My friends and family are not going to be in town. It's just going to be me and Sean and the kids and whatever other help we recruit in the moment. And so I don't know how to cook a nice meal and celebrate a holiday and have 3 kids. That's not working for me. I don't know what I'm gonna do. So if you have advice on how to do holidays with young kids, I sort of feel like you just skip it. Like you try and find sweet ways to make it meaningful, but also if it's your 2nd week with a newborn and it happens to be Thanksgiving, you just be thankful and try and express thankfulness and maybe do nicer food and nicer memories the following year, because family can't come help. Nobody can help. It's Thanksgiving and it's COVID and life is weird. Anyway, so that's what's not working. Anything special. I'm not a picture perfect mother. The ones who like their baby comes home and their Instagram looks like everything's amazing and it's all a dream come true. I mean, some dreams are coming true, but also some nightmares are coming true as well. Like the kid in the trash with the blood, that was not a dream come true. So anyway, voila, having 2 kids under 2 is really amazing, really worth it, pretty tiring. Sometimes you just survive, but what I want you to know is it gets easier and you get through it, and there's just so much sweetness about it. You just soak up all the sweet moments, and then you just try and get through the really hard ones and receive all of the help you can get, all of the encouragement you can get, receive that. Be okay with like oily hair and a messy house and trash being strewn everywhere. It's fine. You're normal. It's going to be worth it. You're doing so good. Okay, that's all. Congratulations. You are going to love your life, and sometimes you might hate it. And if you find yourself hating what's going on, just know you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're not blowing it. As parents, you're incredible and you're doing such a good job. Love your kids, try hard, take deep breaths, drink coffee if it helps, and know that I'm cheering for you. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you need more support, join us on Facebook. We have a group called Jess Hover and Friends. request to be in there, answer the questions. Somebody will let you in, and there's lots of supportive people in there. We have a shop, Very Good Mothers Club, a business that will sell you things that will support you and connect you to people that are awesome. And you can follow me on Instagram if you want to see more of my life. And thank you so much for watching. Okay, we'll see you soon. Bye.